Watch your back. Who's going to take the blame, Patty? Well, I'll explain to you all. The featured artist is between here and Carthage, Missouri. We hope Carthage, Missouri, somewhere. There was a mix-up, and he thought he wasn't going to be here till 7 o'clock tonight.
Just tell me we're Rod McDonald.
The what?
We're Rod McDonald.
Yeah, we're the group Rod MacDonald. Yeah. So we're just going to jam a while. That's no problem to get us. That's one thing in this part of the country you don't realize. If you need musicians, that's where we get our music parties going. We get on the phone. 30 minutes we'll have 3 or 4 fiddlers, guitar players, everything. Everybody's always ready. So we're just going to jam a while here until he shows up. We'll just trade off here, back and forth. What do you want to play? You want to start? Oh, Leather Britches?
Leather Britches.
I'll tell you, Lord MacDonald's real, yeah. Set the sound up because we thought a smaller room or we could be loud enough. We may not let him have the stage when he shows up. Well, that was Lord MacDonald's reel. In this country we call it Leather Britches. What do you want to do over there, Kenny?
Go ahead and fiddle to
Oh, what do you want to play now? You want to play Billy?
I'll play Billy and Lowground.
Billy and the Lowground. I'm Gordon McCann. This is Art Galbraith and Kenny and Shirley Richardson. We're all locals.
No deeds.
Better not do that.
This will make you drunk. This is whiskey before breakfast.
We'll do a Carter Stanley tune. Shirley and I, we have a job lined up somewhere in the future. I don't know when this job's coming up. We played over at Salem. We played over there several times in the summer. Anyway, I have a lady, when she dies, she wants us to play this at her funeral. So the job is pending right now. Funeral music. There, Shirley. Oft I sing for my friend when death's been for my seed. When I reach my journey's end, tell me who will sing for me. Oh, I wonder who will sing for me when I come to the cross by the silent sea. Tell me who will sing for me. And when friends have gathered round and looked down on me, will they turn and walk away, or will they sing one song for me? Oh, I wonder who will sing for me when I come to the cross by the silent sea. Tell me who will sing for me. sing one song for me. Oh, I wonder who will sing for me when I come to the cross by the silent sea. Tell me who will sing for me. Shirley just loves. Oh, no, I don't think so.
Can you all hear us?
It's okay.
all right? I think probably everybody can hear on it.
I'm happy to.
This is about the size of our living room. It's a good place. Most people can hear us. So.
Nothing like playing your hammer dulcimer with your jacket on, or your coat on. We'll do one. We have some friends right now that have gone down to Cancun to spend a week scuba diving and so forth. But this next song is more from that part of the country. It's called Pirate's Prayer, and it kind of has a steel drum sound.
hold it. Boy, I didn't know you could do anything up that high. With more than 3 fingers, you know. That's the
Yeah.
yeah.
Just think of the woman, please.
Go ahead.
Watch over.
Everywhere we play, somebody likes this tune off the rough. It's a very Irish sounding waltz and an Irish sounding name, American in origin, however, called Sheamus O'Brien.
Try another little more contemporary piece. It's a Dan Fogelberg song called Crow. Shirley's going to play the bones on it. She's going to have to take her gloves off to play the bones. Somewhere on a lonely, muddy country road, I heard a song crow for the first time. Somewhere in the distance, wicked black and low, made me feel as I was running from crime. Made me feel as I was running from crime. Some say she died of drowning in the river deep. Some say she died of a sudden star. Some say they found her swinging from Old Man Street. Some folks say she died of a broken heart. one.
Every cat in the town would be here. You know, Arkansas. Well, Arkansas travel.
We'll do one that's an old fiddle tune. It's called the Cobra Waltz, or the Cobra Waltz.
Anybody have anything they want to hear? Nope. Rod McDonald.
We'll play a couple of jigs that we've played, two different jigs in different keys, but we like to play them. One of them's quite familiar to you. The other isn't. One of them's called Over the River to Charlie's. You can name the other.
Yeah.
You do it? We don't.
That's why we don't usually take requests. We seldom know anything they ask for, except one.
John Hardy.
No.
You can come up and take a look at our song list.
Yeah, here it is. There's one right there. You can take a look. Oh, so play Me Too.
This is a popular piece that not old-timey fiddle, but it's a kind of a 20s and 30s piece. Me Too.
Me Too.
How about Florida Blues? You know Florida Blues? Florida Blues.
called honky-tonk music. As you see them do like pumping oil, you know, pumping water, that old two-step they used to do, that's the kind of music that does that.
Do an Irish tune. It's called Parahosa Haint to Burn. House beside the stream.
Stay now.
Well, we might take a break and have cookies and coffee while Rod gets the sound system set up. And I can't thank you all enough. That was beautiful.
The musician that we advertised is here, Rod MacDonald. We're glad he arrived. Really appreciate the people who played for us for the opening set. I wanted to give you some idea of what music is coming up in the next month. In March 1st, the Peace Network is putting on a concert, and they're having Curly and Kate. Some of you got to hear Curly and Kate at a house concert last summer. Really excellent musicians from Montana. And Peace Network has hired them to do a concert March 1st, so put that on your schedule because they're really neat people. That'll be March 1st at 7:30 in the Unitarian Church. Our March house concert will be the Chameleon Puppet Theater. They're going to do a puppet show that has some music in it. And that'll be March 15th. We don't have anything booked for April yet, but on May 4th, we have Bob Carlin booked. He's a banjo player. You might have heard him play on the front porch. Is it your front porch? Our front porch? Okay, our front porch. He did a solo on our front porch, was really excellent. He played Winfield, didn't he, Patty?
He's won some contests for us magazine too.
And he's Frail's banjo, doesn't he?
Yeah, those fretless.
And he's real amusing. He's a
several records on Rounder.
several records on Rounder. Fairly well-known musician, and he's booked in for May 4th. That's Sunday. That's another Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. We have another concert in late May, most likely. We haven't booked this definitely, but a fellow named Danny McGinley, who's Irish. He's from Ireland, and he does some real neat Irish music, real like that. There's a lot of people who do Irish music, but this guy does it authentically, I guess. In June, we have Kathy Barton and Dave Parr and Ed Trickett. We're really excited to have that. Ed Trickett is a fairly well-known folk musician from the East Coast, and we're excited he's going to be passing through. So that's what we have booked up. If you're not a member of the House Concert Series, be sure to talk to one of us and sign up so you get notification of all the upcoming concerts. Now I'd like to introduce the musician we booked for this evening. This is Rod MacDonald from New York City.
Well, let's see. Maybe I'll just borrow one of these chairs here for a minute. I thank you folks for staying around, and apologize for being a bit late. We were sitting around the kitchen table in Wichita, Kansas today having breakfast. El Dorado, actually. Having a nice time, big bowl of grits. And I said, well, I guess I should call them over in Springfield. I lost the directions they gave me in New York. Get new directions to where I gotta be tonight at 7. And that's when Frank straightened me out. Well, I want to get warmed up, so I'm going to play my favorite warm-up song, which is by a guy named Mike Cross. I was walking down the road, not feeling too fine. I saw two old men, a bottle between them. This is a song I heard them singing. Lord, preserve us and protect us. We've been drinking whiskey for breakfast. I walked on over where they were sitting. I couldn't believe how drunk they were getting. I said, old man, you've been drinking long enough to be singing this song. Lord, preserve us and protect us. We've been drinking whiskey for breakfast. What a great song. I love that tune. That's an old fiddle tune. Mike set words to it, I guess, about 5-10 years ago. This is a song I like to think is from real life here. Let's see. Somebody's real life, anyway. Down below the sweltering palms, I had some money, I laid it down. Work all night, I sleep all day, in my little trailer by the bay. My baby's rocking, it makes me grin. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I said, don't come knocking, don't come knocking, don't come knocking, the trailer's rocking tonight. Well, it ain't no mansion on a hill, on blocks and springs, it's kinda still. Most of the neighbors up watching TV, got an aerial on every tree. It ain't much, but I like the wine when them strings get singing in double time. I said, don't come knocking, don't come knocking, don't come knocking, the trailer's rocking tonight. Got no gas, got no car, bottle of wine and a cheap guitar. One thin candle providing light, but this trailer gonna be smoking tonight. Margaritas while the sun goes down, hire the neighbors' kids to mow the lawn. That's alright, I don't mind too much, long as me and my baby don't lose our touch. I say, don't come knocking, don't come knocking, don't come knocking, the trailer's rocking tonight. Don't come knocking, 'cause that trailer's rocking tonight. Well, as you probably heard by now, I live in New York City. I never used to think this was much of a big deal, but then I never used to think I lived there. I grew up in a real small town in Connecticut and moved to New York one year to get a job singing, you know, and next thing I knew it was 6-7 years later, and that same street I once walked down and said, God, what a disgusting place, who could ever live here? Well, I've now lived on that block for 7 years. But you take your apartments where you find them in New York. But I was wasting a few days on the road this summer, hitchhiking somewhere, I forget, and discovered this real stupid guitar lick here. Black-haired man leaning on a fence. Local people say it don't make no sense. Sitting and watching that evening sun go down. Sitting and munching on a piece of grass. Watching them local folk walking past. Sitting and watching that evening sun go down. Now local fella says I should have known. They got a black-haired man leaning by the road. Sitting and watching that evening sun go down. Hey, black-haired man, but who's okay? Are you just sitting there munching that hay? Sitting and watching that evening sun go down. Well, the black-haired man says, you talking to me? I work for the Department of Scenery, sitting and watching that evening sun go down. And every day when that sky gets clear, I get $25 for sitting right here, sitting and watching that evening sun go down. Well, the local fella says, I do declare, we got a smart one sitting right over there, sitting and watching that evening sun go down. You know, smart ones have been known to disappear. You don't see them leave, but they ain't around here, sitting and watching that evening sun go down. Well, now the black-haired man says, as for me, I go where I like, I do as I please, sitting and watching that evening sun go down. And mister, I got me a job to do. If you don't mind, I'd like to get back to sitting and watching that evening sun go down. Fella says, yeah, well, is that so? I guess we're just gonna let you go, sitting and watching that evening sun go down. But I know that if I was you, I wouldn't be there when that sun sets through, sitting and watching that evening sun go down. Well, now the black-haired man, he whispers low, forgive those ones who just don't know, sitting and watching that evening sun go down. And that sun is big and it's red and it's gone, and I believe it's time I'm moving on, sitting and watching that evening sun go down. Well, let's see here. This is where I go through harmonica dirty, trying to find the right key. The April of last year, I went over to Germany and went to the Hohner Harmonica Factory for a day. What an amazing place. The little thing you see here before you is made in a large factory by dozens of people. Some of them do nothing but stamp out screws. Some of them stamp out little pieces of bronze, you know, depending on what key the harmonica is going to be in. They took me to the stamper room. It was Good Friday, actually, and the place was almost deserted. But they took me to the stamper room where this fella just all day long would stick a plate of bronze in this hot thing, pull down a handle, slide out a tray, and there'd be a little pile of these little bronze filings, all the same length. And somebody else would take all those little filings and put them in order so that they sounded, so that they went in the right harmonicas, because there are, of course, 12 keys. After all that was done, they would take the plates to the top floor. And on the top floor were a bunch of guys who were like, I would say definitely older gentlemen who had made a career of having really good ears. And they sat there all day long and listened to reed plate after reed plate with the foot bellows on the floor to see if the harmonicas were in tune. And they would file them to raise the notes, you know, up or down. And then finally they okay the harmonicas and they ship them to America and they go flat immediately. So we were asking him about this. One of the first things I noticed when I moved to New York City was what a premium there was on a place to sleep. Apartments, of course, are very expensive, but one night I was just out hanging out with some friends in the park, and this guy came walking down the street carrying a guitar and a blanket, put the guitar down on a park bench, lay down next to it, pull the blanket over him. just doze right off, you know, right in the middle of our little jam session. When I look into your eyes, I know that I believe in you, but it's going to take some time for you to believe it too. I know you want it to be strong. Well, is there anything that I can do? 'Cause it's going to take some time, but I've got time for you. In the morning feels so right to be lying by your side. Can a dream come true? I love you, yes I do. There's no one for me but you, and it's going to take some time for you to believe it too. It's going to take some time for you to believe it too. Thank you. This is sort of an attempted love song. That's a great intro to a song, huh? This is sort of an attempted love song. Yeah, I have a sorry thing to say for yourself. Well, sometimes attempted love turns out to be more fun than the real thing, probably, who knows? She lay down in my arms and talked to me about her boyfriend. And she just walked
give myself away 'cause I know who I want, but she wants another who loves another one tonight. So I sleep in my clothes and I leave on the line. Yes, and it's blues for the river, blues for my mind, blues for the true love we leave behind, yeah, behind. You got to leave her behind. You got to leave her behind. You got to leave her behind. Yeah, you got to leave her behind. And it's blues for the river. Yes, and it's blues for my mind. And it's blues for the true love we leave behind. There's a pause in the traffic, the first rays of the sun blaze in the window, it's the day. And I sit in this room 3,000 miles from home, watching the light reflect on the clay. Time to turn the flame around, time to burn the white shroud, time to look beyond the grave. Now that the rain has gone, now that the rain has gone away. And once I was a slave worker, a fact in the machine. By night I dreamed I went to play. Now I walk past that window. Every day I know my dream comes closer till it comes to stay. Time to line the edge to stars, time to travel by the arts, time to say we'll meet again another day. Now that the rain has gone, now that the rain has gone, now that the rain has gone away. And once I was a master, had a vision in my eye. No one's freedom mattered in the balanced way. If you'd come as a flower, I'd have made you bloom each time, in a garden where you'd never own a space. Time to treat you like a babe, time to dig for you no grave, time to let your blossoms fall where they may. Now that the rain has gone, now that rain has gone, now that the rain has gone away. I'd like to play one of my favorite tunes these days for you. This is a song by Doc Watson. Now, I've been trying to teach myself to read music lately, and after several years of going around playing and singing, I'm finally getting around to learning to read music. I can't believe this, but anyway. I came across this song in a Doc Watson songbook, and I've never heard him play it, so I don't know if this is how it really goes. But you can judge for yourself. Maybe Doc will sit me down sometime and show me, so I think I can stand it. Just over the hill, and while still a lad, I had to go. And so you see, I'm rambling still. Life's golden cup was filled for me with happiness in measures untold, but I left the one who cared for me a treasure worth so much more than gold. Take heed of this, the call of the road can be so unkind. It will lead you on like a fickle kiss, and a wasted life is all you'll ever find.
Well, do you folks like to sing? Okay, you sing one? I heard a voice back there. Yeah. Well, this is my favorite sing-along currently. It's pretty easy. I think you'll be able to pick this up fast. And it's kind of based on an old folk melody that I wrote some new words to. The old folk melody is kind of like this. You might recognize it better as this. That's why nobody knew. Perfect haircuts looking smooth, just like me and you. They looked so much like they belonged, nobody looked their way. The aliens came in business suits, business suits, business suits. The aliens came in business suits. That's your part. It was a fateful day. The aliens came in business suits. We thought they were our friends. Short haircuts, white shirts and ties, the women and the men. They said our business is business, that's how they defined that ground. The aliens came in business suits, come on, business suits. Yeah, the aliens came in business suits. And took no money down. The aliens had an election. They elected one of their own. Nobody voted for him, but everybody took him home. Well, he did look good on camera, had a kind of handsome face. The aliens came in business suits, business suits, business suits. The aliens came in business suits. And took every parking space. Suits and they invented megatons. They divided the whole world up in half, and to each half they gave one. And they said, now you just watch yourself or there'll be nothing left but bugs. The aliens came in business suits. Come on, business suits, business suits. The aliens came in business suits. It was like some ugly drug. Yeah, I do actually. I have 10 or 12 tapes with me. In fact, I had a sort of unusual occurrence this year. I made a record in New York a couple of years ago, and it just sold out just before I left here. But I also made a record that came out in Germany of all different songs. And I did a tour of Germany last year, and they gave me a whole bunch of them, and I had some shipped, but they wouldn't let me get them in America for some reason. The record company in Germany wouldn't send them to me. I don't mean the State Department confiscated them. But for some reason they won't ship them to me, so I bootlegged my own master tape onto the set, and that's what I brought with me. Yeah, let's see. Some of these tunes are... Well, let's play one that is here. Let's see. Back in the early 70s, I was a member of that vast, teeming mass of male humanity known as the draft pool. And I filed for conscientious objector status from the military during the Vietnam War. Nothing that I consider myself a hero for or anything, but on the other hand, something I'm very glad I did and would do again. But one of the tests that they apply when they decide whether or not you are worthy of being a conscientious objector used to be, were you in a religion that required it of you? Because they couldn't imagine that anyone would simply not want to be part of it. But they soon found that that wasn't necessarily a major factor. For instance, Richard Nixon was a Quaker. And on the other hand, one gentleman named Muhammad Ali was a religion that was not officially recognized by the United States Selective Service. So after several years of litigation, the Supreme Court decided that you didn't have to be a member of a religion, but you did have to mean what you said. So they locked me in a room about 4 by 4 with the lieutenant commander of the Navy, who asked me some questions. And he asked me, what would I do if the Nazis came to my town and were going to shoot my mother? And I said I would try to stop them. And he said, well, what would you do if the Russians came to your town and said they were going to shoot every 10th person? I said I would try to do something about it. And he said, well, why don't you want to go to Vietnam then? And I, to make a long story short, said to him, well, I don't think it's the same thing. It seems to me in one case you're acting as an individual human being, making your own choice, paying your own consequences. In the other one, you're telling somebody else that you're willing to put on a jersey, and because you're wearing one color jersey and they're wearing another color jersey, you're going to shoot any of them you see on sight. It's not the same thing. We went around and around for a while. Finally, he looked at me and he said, what if everybody thought like you? What kind of world would it be? I don't know what kind of world it would be, really. I'd like to think it would be a little easier to live in sometimes. So this is a song I wrote from this experience. I must say that I personally feel a lot less confident in life that I know all the answers to things than I sometimes sound in song, but nonetheless I like this song. It's called Stop the War. And let's play the right harmonica for it.
guess you don't understand. We gotta have these things in case it gets out of hand. I say, what if they are like you? Always got to be on time. Isn't there somewhere to end it? Isn't there some place to start? What if everyone thought like you? The general said to me, oh, what a vulnerable country we would be. What if everyone thought like you? The general said to me, I said there would be some peace, there would be some peace, there just might be some peace. You're young, I guess you don't comprehend. These people are walking around, gotta have some money to spend. And how can there be any money if we don't sell the things we can build? I say, why don't you build something else to use without having to kill? What if everyone thought like you? The broker said to me, oh, what a poor nation we would be. What if everyone thought like you? The broker said to me, I said there would be some peace, there would be some peace, yeah, there just might be some peace. Stop the war, stop the war, stop the war within yourself. You won't need to fight with someone else. Stop the war, stop the war, stop the war within yourself. You won't need to fight with someone else. You won't need to fight. No, you won't need to fight with someone else. No, you won't need to fight with someone else. You won't need to fight. You won't need to fight with someone else. The newsman said, you're young, I guess you don't see the light. It ain't what goes on during the day, it's what goes on to the people at night. The people, they like a good show, how can you deny them their due? I say, what does that say about us? And what does that say about you? What if everyone thought like you? The newsman said to me, oh, what a boring world this would be. What if everyone thought like you? The newsman said to me, I say there would be some peace. Oh, there would be some peace, yeah, there just might be some peace. Yeah, there would be some, yes, there just might be some peace. Oh, there would be some peace, yeah. Stop the war, stop the war, stop the war within yourself. And you won't need to fight with someone else. Well, here's a song from my town. Sometimes when I'm on the road, I get to do shows with other musicians or see them play on my nights off. And I'm always amazed to, or not amazed, but I'm always interested in where people come from. You know, what their lives are like. For instance, walking in here an hour late today, I got to see some of your own local music, which was actually a treat for me. It was very nice, whoever you guys were that were out there playing. I kind of like that. And one of the things I notice is people often talk about where they're from. You know, Minnesota,
California or whatever. So just to give you a mental picture of the street where I live, for instance. It's a block of Greenwich Village, New York. It has 18 restaurants on it and 6 boutiques which sell varying shades of night and day clothing, from bondage on up through routine alligator shirts. And some of the people that walk by are pretty fascinating too. There's like real broad national melting pot there, you know, the old classic historical melting pot you heard all about. Well, it's real, I'll tell you. I melt right into the scenery sometimes myself. So one night I was overhearing a conversation between a couple of local fellas from uptown and a fella from the Soviet Union. And we were riding on a bus through town, through one of the neighborhoods where the windows are boarded up and the doors have big letters spray painted across them, you know, Rico 185. And the Russian fella said, "Look at all this certainly looks strange." And to which he was answered by the other two fellas, "Well, you think it's so, where you from anyway? Where you at?" To which the first man said, "Well, I'm from Leningrad in the Soviet Union." And the second dude answered him, "Well, why don't you just go back there then if you don't like what you see?" So the Russian man said, "Well, you don't understand. I am a nuclear physicist. I come here to New York, riding a Trailways bus, I swear. I am a nuclear physicist. I come to New York to contribute my research at a conference here. I like it here very much." "Well, then why you bad-mouthing it then?" Finally, he didn't answer. He just stared out the window. And one of the other guys wouldn't let up on him, though. He said, "If you don't like it here, why don't you go back to where you belong?" And he said, "Well, you don't understand. Even the Beatles had to come to New York before I heard of them in Leningrad." I don't know if it's unpatriotic to quote Russians anymore, but there's a little tune about all this. Oh. Sorry about this here. New York City rain, I don't know if it's making me dirtier or clean. Went for the subway, but there was no train, and the tunnel was crumbling for repairs again. And the sign said, "Welcome to American Jerusalem." Oh, I've been around. You could spend forever looking for a friend in this town, and all you get to do is lay your dollar down till you're stumbling drunk up the stairs again. And the sign says, "Welcome to American Jerusalem." In the temples of American Jerusalem, they buy an ounce of
of South African gold. They don't care who was born or sold, or who died to mine it. In the temples of American Jerusalem, they buy an ounce of Marseille whites. Somewhere on a street with no lights, somebody dies trying it. And somewhere in a crowd, looking the kind of way that makes you turn around, will be somebody who knows what it's about. She's going to take the ribbons from her hair again and welcome you to American Jerusalem. Of American Jerusalem, the homeless lie down at the dawn. The pretty people wonder what they're on and how they afford it. Of American Jerusalem, the prophets live their deaths out on the corner. The pretty people say there should have been a warning, but nobody heard it. Then shadows lick the sun. The streets are paved with footsteps on the run. And somebody must have got double, 'cause I got none. Oh, I forgot to collect my share again. So go west to breathe the cleansing air again. Go Niagara for your honeymoon again. Go on the road if you're going to sing your tune again. Go to sea to learn to be a man again, till you come on home to American Jerusalem.
Well, since you folks were such good singers before, there's a little Salem tune here. I'll teach you the chorus. It goes like this. Oh, I will not lie me down, this rain a-raging
I will not lie me down in such a storm. And if this night be unblessed, I shall not take my rest till I reach another shore. Okay, got that? Okay, here we go. Well, let's sing a verse first. Although my sails be torn and tattered, and the mast be turned about, but let the night wind chill me to my very soul. Come on, Rod, get it together here. And though the spray might sting my eyes, and the stars no light provide, give me just another morning light to hold, and I will not lie me down, this rain a-raging. I will not lie me down in such a storm. And if this night be unblessed, I shall not take my rest till I reach another shore. And though the only water left is but salt to wound my thirst, I will drink the rain that falls so steady down. And though night's blindness be my gift, and there be thieves upon my drift, I will praise this fog that shelters me alone. And I will not lie me down, this rain a-raging. I will not lie me down in such a storm. And if this night be unblessed, I shall not take my rest till I reach another shore. Let's see how we're doing. Pretty good. And though my mates be drained and weary, and believe their hopes are lost, well, there's no need for their bones on that blackened bottom. And though death waits just off the bow, they shall not answer to him now. He shall stand to face the morning without us. And I will not lie me down, this rain a-raging. I will not lie me down in such a storm. And if this night be unblessed, I shall not take my rest till I reach another shore. Oh, I will not lie me down, this rain a-raging. I will not lie me down in such a storm. And if this night be unblessed, I shall not take my rest till I reach another shore. Come on, make it aerobic. Oh, I will not lie me down, this rain a-raging. I will not lie me down in such a storm. And if this night be unblessed, And if this night be unblessed, I shall not take my rest till I reach another shore. Well, because I was late, I guess I'm only going to do one set, so I added a couple tunes here. But I don't know what the time situation is. So let's play one more here. Oh, okay. Well, how about I play a couple more tunes? How does that sound? Sound good? Okay. Hey, we're moving now, all right. I'll teach you guys a New York phrase in case you ever get there. Get out of here. This is the first time I've ever sung in the state of Missouri, other than standing by the side of the road once on I-70. I remember somebody telling me hitchhiking was legal in Missouri. It was the only state I ever remember actually hitchhiking right on the interstate highway. Is that true? Still is, huh? Boy, I gotta hand it to you people. That's great. A fella could move here with laws like that. I hardly ever hitchhike anymore, actually. I have to be places at a particular time. It's kind of hard to hitchhike. And I'll tell you, some of the road we rode over today, I'd still be up there about 5 miles outside of El Dorado, Kansas. If it wasn't for my friend Luke here. But back when I used to do a lot of hitchhiking, I got stopped one time in New Jersey by a state trooper. And he asked me what I was doing there. And I'd been standing there for a couple of hours, you know, and I had this fantasy, you know, that like some beautiful girl would come by in her convertible and say, "Hi, want to go to Chicago?" You know those things. And there I was by the side of the road. But nobody came along for 2 hours until this policeman came over to me. Just as he was standing there, a real pretty girl did go right by. So I was standing there all this time, and he said, "You weren't hitchhiking, were you?" It's illegal in New Jersey, you know. And I said, "Well, actually, you're the first car that's gone by, so I guess the most you got me on is attempted hitchhiking." But I would like to get to Pennsylvania. In fact, I'd like very much to get to Illinois. How would you suggest to do that? I thought maybe you'd give me a lift to the state line, you know. He said, "I'd suggest you walk and don't take the highway." So I started walking. I went over behind a tree. He left. I went back out. I finally did get a ride from a guy who had a van. And this is years ago, and actually he was one of the first civilians that I saw with his CB. And this was a guy who really used his CB aggressively. He like zoomed in and out of traffic, you know, all the time. He was doing about 65, 70, 75 miles an hour through some pretty heavy truck and car traffic. All the while he's on the horn, you know, "Tell me what it's like 2 miles from milepost 90. And smoky report, smoky report. So we slowed down for about 100 yards at one point, and then he put the hammer down again. And we got all the way to wherever we were going, mid-state Pennsylvania, at about half the time it normally would take, probably. I'm gonna take the string out and shoot it. There's an old barn outside on the far edge of town where the ladies keep dancing so fine. Their smiles touch their ears, their dresses the ground. They got all their men in a line. And I thought for a second how fine it would be to get dancing and feeling so free. Take a few turns and I'd get me a girl and bring one of them smiles home with me. But it just looked too easy, just too easy to be right. And I'm out on the road, walking alone, one step ahead of the frost. And your baby ain't no baby anymore. He's doing the cross-country waltz. And I had a lover, she walked through my dreams, till one day she drifted away. And I got me a letter when some months had gone by, saying, come back, I'll do what you say. But in a city I found a new wheel spinning round, like a carnival half of the time. And though I'm walking alone now and counting my dimes, I think I'll just let her go by. 'Cause it just looks too easy, just too easy to be right. And I'm out on the road, walking alone, one step ahead of the frost. And your baby ain't no baby anymore. He's doing the cross-country waltz. I had me a letter yesterday from home, saying how long you think you'll be gone. As I looked at the sun, it was warm in my hands, and that letter slipped down on the ground. 'Cause there's riverboats and drifters and a silvery moon, and the people, they all ask your name. And if you never left home, you'd never have to go back. But once you go back, you can't stay. 'Cause it just looks too easy, just too easy to be right. And I'm out on the road, walking alone, one step ahead of the frost. And your baby ain't no baby anymore. He's doing the cross-country waltz. Yeah, I'm out on the road, walking alone, one step ahead of the frost. And your baby ain't no baby anymore. He's doing the cross-country waltz.
Well, let's see. The cross-country waltz is taking me to New Orleans next. Which will be my first time there, too. I'm looking forward to that. It's Mardi Gras week. Get me a funny hat. Don't know how I'm going to get there yet. What's that?
It's a long way.
It's a long ways. Yeah, I hear Little Rock is a nice pit stop on the way, actually. It's fun going new places, doing new things. I tell you one thing, though, that's like universal the world over, and that's weddings, right? There's a wedding tune here. I went to a wedding recently, sang my first matrimonial occasion of the sort, and it was pretty interesting. The bride and groom came over and told myself and another singer that they had asked to be there, that they had met or something like that at one of our shows in New York City, and they just felt like we couldn't get married without you folks here. And they had a band, you know, that like did the usual wedding stuff, you know. They had a group doing that. And all the aunts and uncles of the bride and groom were there. This is something that I noticed, that this particular wedding was definitely for aunts and uncles. And that the bride and groom only had about a half a dozen friends there, out of a couple hundred people or so. Big families. But we got up and sang a few tunes with the band, and all the aunts and uncles sat down. They were amazed. They were going, I don't know why. I guess we were playing too fast and loud for them or something, I don't know. But the bride and groom got out and danced. Which I thought was real nice. This is a little bit of a wedding tune here.
Trace of the blues, nobody down on his knees. They were blowing that sound, even the preacher got down. rock, rockabilly wedding. It's all right with me. It was a rock, rockabilly wedding. Rock, rockabilly wedding. Rock, rockabilly wedding. It's all right with me.
Let's do one more here, because I'm having a good time, and anyway. Well, catch my breath a second here. So what would you folks like me to show you?